fall into this problem again?
You know, something worth considering. I mean, it's a very interesting position that you put forth. There's also a danger in the collapse of ego boundaries. Freud spoke about that, and one of the places you see that is with any form of totalitarianism. Now, of course, the totalitarians are not interested in love and solidarity the way you are, but when Hitler's slogan is "Ein Volk, ein Führer, ein Reich," one people, one leader, one empire, what he's talking about is an inner unity between the three, which is unmediated and unreflected. I think one of the things, in order to determine the difference between the positive and the negative, as you put it, is we have to educate people to use reflection. And, you know, the term teaching critical thinking has become sort of a catch-all for anything. And critical thinking, above all, means you use reflection, that you understand the given social, economic, and political situation, and here I'm certainly with you, the role of the victim and of the agent within it. It means changing tactics. It means, for example, using the possibilities that exist now, not to simply eliminate the problem, I totally agree with you, but to mitigate it. And one of the ways to mitigate it, I think, is solidarity among groups that are victimized, discriminated against, and the like. Build a cosmopolitan consciousness with them, and do in a certain way what you're doing, namely use the media, which is precisely what is not being done. We can't have a situation where constantly Jews are talking to Jews. That doesn't go anywhere. We need a concentrated politics, if I can put it that way, that speaks to solidarity amongst these other groups with the Jews. And here is the love that you're talking about. My friend Cornel West always emphasized the role of love. And I'm, I guess, a little more skeptical, but in principle, I understand what he's talking about and what you're talking about. And I think that's quite important. There is also a book by the great thinker, Erich Fromm, who was one of the very few philosophers who was grounded, actually knew what he was talking about with regard to religion, right? Called The Art of Loving. And young people love that book. When I've taught it, they've thought it was wonderful. And I think that's the way we have to move forward. There's no reason why the metaphysical and the material should simply be set up as rigid oppositions to one another.